Hello guys and welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network. Today we are going to be discussing Fox Digital Studios' new film Mono with a very special guest, Kara Royster.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk, we talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's iTalk Movies.
Talk Network, we are jamming to DNCE.
Yes.
This is my jam.
This is super my jam right now. This is going to be a summer repeat.
This is for sure, for every summer to come.
Of course.
You guys, we are going to be discussing Kara's new film, Mono. How cool is that? Where can we find you on social media?
So I'm at Kara Royster on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter.
All right, awesome. And you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. I always tell people I like it when they have like the same name for each platform because it's so much easier to find you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I tried doing like a Pika girl on numbers and things and it just didn't work out.
Like,
it was too
people
much.
couldn't find you, right?
I'm missing.
Right? But you guys, this movie was so funny. Like I literally just like kept laughing. I'm probably gonna watch it again. It's so much fun. But for those of you who have not watched the film yet, we're gonna have some spoilers, but you kind of play this Queen Bee type of character, Christina. For those who haven't seen it, do you mind to let them know like a little bit of a synopsis of what goes on during the movie?
Absolutely. So in Mono movie, I do play Christina Madison. She is Queen Bee, head of the dance team, all those things. And there's a mono outbreak at our high school, so it kind of eliminates a lot of the cool kids.
Yeah.
And a group of outcasts decide to take over and use mono to their advantage.
I know. It was so funny because I think in the very beginning of the movie they kind of touched on it, and then at the end they said it. It's like this terroristic act. It was like, when you think about it, I mean, it was very purposely done. It was kind of like a...
It's super spiraled out of control.
I know.
And it got really crazy into terror.
I know. It was crazy. I loved when the movie opened up and it was like everyone was running around, the cops were there, and there was like this random couple making out in the hallway. I was just...
That was so much fun to shoot. And like I got
so
to just kind of be, I wasn't in that first scene, but we got to watch it and the mayhem that goes on. It was so cool.
That is so cool. Where did they film, by the way? Was it anywhere in California?
It's Crespi High School.
Okay.
Yep. So we got to, so that was like our home base. So it was super funny because they were still in summer school.
Yeah.
So we were just kind of running around and like on our like little scooters and stuff like past windows, and so
they
it was
were
like
still there.
It was like we were in summer school.
That is so
camp,
funny.
so.
That is so great. And if you ever need any extras, you could just be like, "Hey, you, come here."
I think that happened.
Really?
I think that definitely happened.
That is so funny. Now, I know you've done, I watched your film, Mr. Right, which was absolutely hilarious.
Fun.
That was so great. But I know that was like a film that you've done, but you starred mostly in like television, such as Pretty Little Liars, Casey Undercover on Disney, and Faking It, to name a few. How was it, and like how did this opportunity to have like your first big film debut come about?
So I got the audition and I read the synopsis and like how do you pass it up? It sounded hilarious, and it was a social like a digital movie, which I thought was so cool because I'm addicted to Netflix, so I would like my film to be on Netflix, and so it all worked out. And it is my first feature film, and I had so much fun doing it, and I couldn't have been with like a better group of people.
That's awesome. Yeah, it seemed like you had a ton of fun.
Yeah, maybe a little too much fun. And sometimes we really summer camped it up.
That's so fun. I mean, anytime when you have just like a bunch of people your age, you know, you're just like going and like even like studying in a high school and like going through all the fun stuff, and you guys had like a ton of fun party type of scenes, which I'm sure was crazy to film.
Those were just real parties at a certain point, and we did a lot of night shoots.
Okay.
So it was from 5 p.m. till 2 a.m.
Oh my gosh.
So not only were we partying, but we were just like loopy and sleep deprived, and so we bonded and just had a good time. I like lived off of Twizzlers and coffee.
There
and
you
it
go.
was a great time.
That is so funny. I know that you worked with a lot of Viners during this film, and such as Kristian Del Grosso and Brandon Bowen, which is absolutely, he's so funny.
He's so sweet and so funny.
Like, what was that like? Because I know it. I mean, you are used to doing television. They are used to doing, you know, Vines and YouTube videos. So I think this was one of their first like big films.
Absolutely.
So what was it like working with Viners, and kind of like, did you kind of help coach them at all? Like, hey, you know, we do this type of thing.
I never actually had to. They, you know, Vine, they do create characters and things that's still doing all of that, and they did an amazing job.
That's
you know, I had never worked with Viners and everything like that, so I didn't know what to expect, and I was so pleasantly surprised.
That's
they
cool.
were all amazing, and Kristian has done some acting and things like that, and so everyone was super prepared, super talented.
That's awesome. I know a lot of people have like their opinions on, you know, this new media type of stuff where they have Viners and YouTubers do films and movies. I think it's smart. I think
Absolutely.
And they're talented. Like, it's not like these are just random kids. Like, they know what they're doing. They create these characters. They like just take something as simple as an iPhone camera and make themselves like,
and they're just
well-known.
so hardworking. Like watching them on set, like everyone's editing things and like really posting. Like I didn't know, but it takes so much work and so much time, and they really are very dedicated to it. And so I super respect them a lot, especially my like. I'm a little biased, like my group. This is super talking about just mono because you know there have been other movies and things like that and stuff, but this is just so different on another platform.
That's so cool. Yeah, I love that. Did you get to do like any like video collabs or vines with any of them?
Yeah, I was in a couple of like random like girl walks by expectation videos and stuff, and some of that actually ended up in the movie. So at the end,
cool.
some little vines and stuff that everybody made just ended up in the film.
That is so great. That's so funny. I love when they do that kind of stuff where they're just like, you know what? This is like genuine fun stuff that they're doing, and it works for the movie. So then they're just like, let's put it in.
I actually have a funny story. So I was on set, and they're like, hey, we're gonna be doing vines and stuff, and I was like, cool, I'm excellent cartwheeler. Let me know. Totally being funny. Totally was not trying to cartwheel. And then they came up to me next day and like, all right, so you ready for your vine? Like you're gonna be cartwheeling around the school. So they made me go to different spots and cartwheel around the school, and then it ended up in the film.
Oh my gosh, that is so
So it's
great.
me in panda leggings cartwheeling on a football field.
That is absolutely gold right there. I know that I read that you like being involved. You're like a makeup artist as well. So like, what was that like? I mean, what kind of projects have you done with that?
So in high school, I went to LOXA, which is an arts high school. And so I kind of sub-majored in makeup and then became like kind of head of that department. And once I graduated, I teamed up with my friend Courtney, who's a photographer, and we started doing shoots and stuff together, and I just helped out with makeup, and then it kind of went off from there, and I worked a lot with my now friend, Sammy Sanchez, on a lot of her music videos and stuff, so I do her makeup and then like be her friend and
That's so
stuff.
cool.
And we always have a bunch of fun, and yeah, so just from there, just doing different people's headshots and things like that, and found my love for it again.
That is so cool. That's really awesome. I know you're from West Palm Beach, Florida. So what was like the deciding factor, like with your family, and when they're like, you know what, like she's really successful, we want to go out to LA and we want to like help her pursue her dreams?
Absolutely. So my sister actually came out here first, and she loved it, and I had always wanted to live out here, so I kind of just was like, me too. And so then mom and dad were like, cool, let's all do it. And so we got to be a big family out here, and they've super loved it. Dad has the beach, mom's over here, and we're all everywhere and having a great time. And yeah, moved out to Los Feliz first and just been out here ever since.
That's cool. That's awesome that they have like, you have so much support where they're like, you know, let's just go do it. My family, like, they helped me move out here. They helped me get set up and everything, and I go back to visit them a lot. But yeah, it's really cool because a lot of people don't have, you know, like a family that really backs them up and like and is totally there for them. So that's awesome that you have that.
I'm super, super grateful. Like my mom helped me pick out my outfit today.
Oh,
like
there you
she's
go.
super
That's
like
awesome.
super, super helpful. And my sister's my acting coach, and my dad's my cheerleader.
That's
and so
cool.
it's super fun.
That's amazing. That's really cool to hear, especially in like such a harsh industry.
Absolutely.
So that's very encouraging to hear. So but anyway, okay, you play like the seemingly good girl on Pretty Little Liars. We don't know yet exactly what kind of angle you're playing.
Right,
you know,
right.
Everyone on the show has their own angles, you know. But what was it like, kind of, I know that in Casey Undercover, you're kind of like a bad girl too, but what is it like for this film? You were like a bad girl.
That is the most fun to play because every mean girl thinks that she's the funniest, most special person in the room.
Yeah.
So to just be able to do that is kind of fun.
That's so cool.
And it was very different. It was very over the top. She was very glamorous. I've never had that much like eye makeup in my entire life. And so she was so much fun to play. And she kind of, I tried to do like a little bit of a voice with her, like very extra, you know, bitchy as it were.
Yeah, there you go.
And so, yeah, I love Christina.
That's
She's
cool.
ridiculous. She's
She
a hot
is.
mess, and I adore her.
I think my favorite scene from the movie was whenever you were like in the restroom and then JC is JC, right? JP. She like is going and she like grabs the lip gloss and she's trying to like. That was absolutely hilarious.
Fun fact, that was the first scene.
Oh, really?
We like shook hands and then like got into the bathroom and almost fought.
That
was day one I met her.
That's crazy. I love how that kind of stuff happens because you always think, okay, like, you know, they're shooting this movie. A lot of people think they start from the beginning and they end, and that's not how it works. Sometimes,
no, we went middle and then like out and then back in again.
That is so crazy. Sometimes you have to be like, when you're shooting like that, you have to be like, okay, so this already happened, this didn't yet, so I can't really think about that. Do you ever have to kind of like...
And especially with Christina, because she has such, like, looks. I was like, did I have a wing? What color were my nails? Like, things like that. So it's a crazy thing to keep track of. But they were really good about it. There's
cool.
someone who is
like a
on
continuity.
It.
They're like, no, we are going to make sure everything's fine. I love that. That's really cool. Yeah, I always look for that. You know, it's like a weird thing I do, but I always look for that in movies. I'm like, okay, did that look like this? Or...
Oh, my God. I'm obsessed with it. Also, like, water. Like, how it goes up and down. Big one.
Yeah, exactly. One time I had a film where someone, like, had to throw water on me. And like my shirt, I recognized the pattern, and then they wanted to do it over again. I'm like, okay, well, if you're going to use that shot, you have to use this because the water, it looks like this. So if you shoot here, I don't know. I'm like,
because you're like, no, I will not be caught without continuity.
I'm like, I'm so like hardcore about that. I'm like, I'm not going to be caught. No.
I always pretend to sip out of water cups so that the water level doesn't move.
There you go.
Obsessive
That's
compulsive.
really smart. That is really, really smart. I loved your mom's character, or not your mom, but Christina's mother's character. She was hilarious, and I loved how Sam Lerner's character, Ivan, was so...
infatuated with her.
Yeah, it was like he loved, you know...
Dr. Mummy, Yummy Mummy Madison.
Yeah.
He had to say it like 900 times, but we got it out.
Oh my gosh, I love that though, because it was like he was in love with you, and then he was in love with your mom. And then it was just one of those things where I love the scene when he was saying something like, oh, you're like, oh, why don't you go screenshot some of my Snapchats? Yeah. And he's like, wait, you can tell when someone screenshotted?
Yes, that was so good.
I love that because that's so true, like with when Snapchat first came out, people were like, wait, like people can tell? Like I remember when it first came out when people could tell, and then like...
I super waited way too long to get Snapchat because I knew I was going to mess up and send something just everywhere to a friend like talking smack about somebody.
That's right. And post it on your story. I accidentally did that the other day.
No. Worst nightmare.
I'm like pretty, like whenever I take photos and I post them, I like to be somewhat composed and, you know, look nice.
All right.
And I was like doing this stupid face, like absolutely awful. And I like sent it to my friend. And then the next morning I woke up and it had like over like 100 views. And I was just like looking like a total idiot. And I was like, all right, there you go.
That's it.
It was going to happen.
A filter I was not prepared for.
No, there was no filter either. No. It was awful. You know, but I learned my lesson.
Yeah,
and that's the only thing you can do.
Thank you for sharing your story. You've saved many lives.
Saved many lives, exactly. So was Christina absolutely in the dark about what Ivan wanted with her saliva?
Yeah, Christina's very pretty.
Yeah.
She's not exactly the brightest. She's cunning, but I wouldn't say the brightest. So she had no idea, and she just wanted to be able to stay in school and maintain her status and things like that. So she was going to give him whatever he wanted.
Yeah, exactly. But I love how, because your mom's obviously the doctor, so she was saying, okay, so you're a carrier, but you don't display some of the symptoms. So she's like, if you want to go back to school, just behave yourself and no one will know type of thing.
Right, exactly. Okay. We were super in on it together, and so she was able to forge some of the paperwork and get me back in there.
Ooh, I see. And I love how Ivan totally figured out, and he totally, like, is going to control your character in a way. He's like, you know, you have to do exactly what I want. Yep. Give me your spit. She's just like, this is sick, but whatever, whatever it gets to like clear my name.
He told me that it was like he just collected spit. I was like, no, that's weird.
Like,
no, it's not true.
That?
So that was, I guess, enough for me to do it. And my mom was amazing in it. And there's an Easter egg sort of thing is that like I constantly kept bumping into people. Like that was like my character's thing. I was either chewing gum or bumping into people. Like that was me most of the movie. So the big scene with like me and my mom when she's on the phone, she bumps into me, and it makes you laugh every single time.
That is so great.
Because she super went for it, and I loved it.
That's hilarious. I know that like the majority of your scenes seem to be with like Sam Lerner, Ivan. Like, was he like definitely one of your favorite characters to work with on this film?
Absolutely. Just the character Ivan is so hilarious. It's like Zuckerberg and Voldemort had a baby. It was exactly it. And so we had such a good time playing off of each other. And so they couldn't be two more opposite characters. So that's when it's the most fun to play against.
Definitely. I think it was funny because I honestly didn't know that he was going to kind of like turn for the worst. You know, he seemed like a nice kid who just wanted to be popular, and it's crazy how like when someone gets a little bit of that, they run with it, and then they can turn into the person that they hate.
Exactly.
Like that happens in real life, and I think that's so crazy. Like people think that they just got to do whatever they can just to get into that group.
It's the power of the ring.
It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's absolutely insane. But okay, between like the party scenes, the school scenes, and like the lovely homecoming video, which I was obsessed with at the end.
Oh my god, I want just that homecoming video.
That was so great. Like between all of those, what was your favorite scene to shoot and why?
My favorite scene to shoot was probably like day one stuff, was like the bathroom scene and stuff, because it was just like, hi, nice to meet you, we're all now friends, and like just really in it together. Another thing, like in that bathroom scene when he grabs the lip gloss, I grabbed it, but if you can tell, like slightly, it hit his cheek. So the shock was genuine because I totally got lip gloss all over his face in that scene. And we just continued on keeping to do it. So there was just so many fun things, and we really learned that we clicked immediately.
That's so funny. That is absolutely great. You know, this is kind of random, but back in Missouri where I went to high school, there was kind of like this little mono breakout. Like,
oh, no way.
Yeah, there was like 5 or 6 kids who got it. And I don't know how they did, but they did. They went to a party or something. I don't know. But
the rainbow party.
Yeah, seriously, that was really hilarious. But yeah, I was just like terrified. Like I honestly didn't really know what mono was at that time, and I think a lot of the kids in the school didn't really know what was going on. They were just thinking like some death plague is upon us.
Right.
And like they were gone from school for a long time, and it was really insane. And I remember one of the girls, they were really ornery, and they just like came up and grabbed my face and then like kissed my cheek. And so I had like this big lipstick thing. And I remember freaking out. I was like a sophomore, and I was freaking out. I didn't know what it was.
You thought your skin would just melt off
I thought I was going to have like a weird rash. And I just like, I wiped it off, and I was so scared. But it's
that's
so
the thing, like in the movie, like seeing what happens, like now I'm terrified to get mono. Like,
exactly.
I don't want jaundice.
No.
I don't want to look like that. Like,
no. Yeah, Kristian did an amazing job in that scene where he's like yellow or orange or whatever. That was insane. Like, and I totally thought he was going to like confront Ty's character and be like, okay, I know that you like totally helped poison me type of thing. But he's obviously so like super funny. Was he like definitely the biggest prankster on set?
Oh, absolutely. He was super ridiculous, and Ty's like full of energy as well, and we all were just a ridiculous bunch of people.
Yeah, that just sounds
just running around, and that's like right when those like Segway things came out, so that was us just like racing in the hallways and like causing a ruckus all the time.
That's so great. Oh, like the little like the 2-wheel type of things, like the hoverboard type of thing.
Hoverboards,
Yeah, I mean those things are super dangerous. I've never tried it because I feel like I have a horrible balance. And
you fall. It's not like if, it's a when thing. Yeah, but it was fun, and that's like right when they had started coming out and stuff, and we were all just causing problems.
That's amazing. I know. I love those type of things. Like now it's like the Pokemon Go type of thing. Do you do that?
Oh my god.
Do you do it?
I'm just trying to catch them all.
Okay.
I'm trying to catch them all. That's it.
I have not downloaded the app yet, but I'm thinking about it.
I mean, it'll ruin your life.
Yeah.
Like, that is then your life now.
Yeah.
And, like, I get, like, together with friends, and we walk around, and we are trying our stuff, so.
That is amazing. I mean, there's always these waves of things. Like, it was the hoverboard, now it's Pokemon Go. You know, like, back in the day, Webkins was the thing.
Yes,
you know?
Neopets. I was about it.
Exactly. Like, it's just so funny. Every year is something different.
Yep.
And I think it's so much fun. I mean, at least Pokemon Go is getting people outside and, like, walking around. You know, and I mean, Candy Crush, a lot of people are just sitting there playing it by themselves. At least these people are getting out of the house.
And, like, I've met up with people and stuff. Like, I've gotten groups together. I've met other people at different little, like, spots. It's bringing the community together.
That's right. It really is. Speaking of bringing the community together, you didn't really do that in this film because you turned the boys in, right?
Yep. I was the end all.
Yeah, you were the end all. You were the undercover journalist, as you said. That I wasn't expecting that part. Like I really wasn't. I was thinking you were just like going along like you were scared, but I love how you like revolted and you're like, no, I'm not a part of this anymore.
I know. I was even surprised when we did the table read. I was like, yeah, Christina got him.
Yeah.
And so it was super cool. And that scene might actually be one of my favorites. Because we couldn't keep it together. We were like just trying not to laugh, so just like little tears like streaming down our face. We were like hysterical.
That is so great. I know, I like the wig that you were wearing, or like that was
my
insane.
Tina Turner.
Like, how was it? Like, was that thing super
itchy.
hot?
So itchy.
How long did you have to wear that? Like,
forever. It felt like forever because we were
gosh.
also taking pictures in it. We were being obviously ridiculous, and so we kept the wigs and that costume on the whole time.
That's so great. That is.
And then Sam's character with his big white coat and stuff, he would get all hot, and so it was hilarious.
Yeah, and I love how, you know, obviously there was like I think it was 5 of you who first had mono, right?
Yes.
And then from there, you know, Bucky got poisoned in a sense, and then after that everyone was just getting it, and then I love like the board that they had up there with the strings and everything.
It got all cattywampus. Oh my god, that still makes me laugh every time he says it.
But
the webs, the webs of each thing, and how they had to bring in like the CIA, the FBI.
Yeah. And he's over there in the corner, like with his like in the dark, you know, like, being all CIA-ish and everything.
Oh, he was so funny.
That was absolutely hilarious.
He's probably the funniest part of the whole movie.
Probably, because I was like, oh wow, they don't play around. Like they brought in like a CIA.
And he's the one who
FBI.
narrates the whole movie.
Oh,
That's
really?
like revealed at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Like you start recognizing the voice.
Okay, yeah. Because he's talking about it in the very beginning, and then afterwards it kind of takes over at the very end. I totally didn't think about that.
Yeah, when you definitely rewatching, you can see that like he's just reading off my transcript to them in the thing, and that's the whole movie.
Okay, yeah.
It's like an Inception sort of thing.
That is really cool. So it's like your words that he's reading kind of thing. That's really cool.
And it's so funny. He like had me read them like in my Kristian like ratchet losers. Like I had to like go in and do the whole thing.
That's so funny. I loved like the movie as a whole, and I think like I know a lot of people were talking about they want like a mono too.
I want it. I need it. College years. Where's that?
College years. I don't know. I don't know if it'd be called mono. It'd be called something else, like some other disease you could catch.
Yeah. Mono's like as far as we're willing to go.
Yeah.
I know. I'm trying to think of something, but like I feel like if we all go,
there you go.
Sucks.
It sucks.
Yeah, bronchitis is a really bad one.
But when you think about it, they could really do something like that. They could make something else and
make him go to college. I'd be the head of a sorority.
There you go.
And then all that. So we'll see.
That's
I
really
want
cool.
it.
That's awesome. I know. Okay, so I was looking on your IMDb, and it shows that you were in Scream Queens, right?
Yeah, briefly.
How cool would it be if you were able to like get a role on that? Like,
that'd be so.
I would love to see you on that.
And I'm a huge Nick Jones fan, and
there
that would be dope. Because that was who my scene was with, and so that was cool. And just to be able to be on that show, all Ryan Murphy is just gold.
Yes. I know everyone was talking about that, and I was just like, I want to be on that show. Like
so
it's such a big show. Like everyone's
it's scary
loving it.
Glee. It's awesome.
It is. I know, exactly. So let's see. Okay, so going back to Pretty Little Liars a little bit, you said I remember from an interview that Keegan is your favorite, but who of the actual like girls, like Pretty Little Liars, is your favorite?
Me and Troyan got pretty close and stuff, and we're always talking in between scenes.
That's
and
cool.
she is the me of like my group. Like if me and my friends were to name off, like I would be the Spencer of the group anyway.
Awesome.
So
that's really cool. She is super nice. I've met
oh my
her.
gosh, so nice.
She I go to a lot of her films because she's got amazing films.
Absolutely.
And like I've gone to them because I'm just like I'm always there, and she's like, oh hey, you're back, and I'm like I wouldn't miss it for the world. Like she is such a great actress, and all of them are, but Troyan is definitely like one of those.
She's so talented, especially this last week's episode where they're burying the body and stuff. Like she really killed it and was distraught.
Yes. So we're gonna get to see you a lot more, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely be popping up throughout the season and stuff, and it gets crazy. Things get crazy over in PLL world.
How many like release forms do you have to sign off on? Like, don't talk about this, and this.
Basically, I was like, I'm just gonna turn off my phone at this point because if I mess up and So that had almost happened because it was before I got revealed that I was engaged and I was wearing rings, and I was like, I need this away from me if we're ever gonna Snapchat. Like I didn't do it. Like I don't want to tell any of the secrets because I would hate to find out.
Yeah. Did anyone like see that on Snapchat and like make conclusions at all, or not really?
A little bit. We were able to like finagle it. It was like, no, it was on this finger.
Okay.
Like we kind of got it all cleared
Got
up.
it all cleared up. That's awesome. I know Ashley. She's always Snapchatting.
Oh
and
yeah.
I know a lot of things actually get released because of her doing that, and she doesn't even care. Like, she's just having a good time.
Right.
But
and it's gonna get revealed and stuff, and you're able to if you think you know, you don't.
Yeah,
like
you
just
don't.
because you saw one thing, like you have no idea what that means.
Yes. Every week they come out with this new thing that has like 113 things about the episode that you may have missed, type of thing.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's necessary to have too.
Yeah, people like literally like they'll analyze this. Like they want to know before it's revealed. Like they really think they're gonna figure this out. And it's like I feel like no matter who you are, like you're not gonna get it just right.
Yeah, you'll never know, because I'm even reading the things and I am there, and I keep coming in like, no way, they did not just.
Yeah. Right.
I'm a huge fan of the show, and so when we were reading for 710, so that was like last year's finale, and it was revealed who the twin was. I walked in, and the person who plays Mary Drake was supposed to be dead. I bumped into her at the table read, and I was like, no, you can't be here. You cannot be here right now. I need you to, you're dead. You're dead to me in my head.
Gosh.
So I totally bumped into her, and she's like, oh, sorry. And I was like, you're a ghost.
You're like, who are you? What are you doing here?
Do you know where you are?
That is so funny. I've heard those table reads are just absolutely amazing.
So much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
cool to just look around the room and like see who's there.
Yeah.
We're all hanging out.
And you're just like, wow, this is like a show that I've watched and loved. Like that's really neat. That's really cool. By the way, how long did it take to film Mono? Was it like a couple month type of thing?
No, it was 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
It was a very tight ship because we only had 14 days. I think it was 14
wow.
days. We did that whole movie.
That is insane. So
Yeah.
did you have like 12-hour days type of thing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it was full on all the time and just constantly, and they were just so quick about it, and we had so much fun. I think it was cool, like a cool experience to do it in that amount of time because it really pushed everyone, and that's where the sleep deprivation came in and stuff, but it made for a very funny, ridiculous movie.
That's amazing. Like 5 a.m. call times type of thing?
Oh, yeah. So 5 p.m. till 2 a.m. And I was also filming Pretty Little Liars at the same
my gosh.
time. I don't know if I can say, but like, so I was doing like 5 p.m. till 2 a.m., 6 a.m. to 5 p.m., 5 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Oh,
like, so I was all over the
gosh.
map, and it was, so I was especially like,
You're
hello
just like,
everyone.
yeah.
Like, but it made me even more ridiculous and
Yeah.
like free. So
And
I
you
had
like
fun.
watching the movie and then watching Pretty Little Liars, I would never like, cause you didn't show that you were tired, like your energy was up. That
I was
shows-
just so happy to be everywhere I was. So I
I'm
was
sure.
like, I'm fine. Red Bull and happiness is all you ever needed
That's
in
right.
life.
That's right. I love that though, because that really goes to show like at such a young age you can have all these different projects you're working on at the same time. Like that goes to show a lot about you as like an actor, performer. You can keep it together and do all these projects. Like most people, they can only do like one thing at a time, and even that is too much for them. So I applaud you. That's awesome.
Well, thank you. And I was just, like I said, super happy to be
Yeah.
there and be doing what I was doing. So I made it work.
Yeah.
Made it work.
That's awesome.
You can tell all my nail polish is the same for like 3
All
different
of-
projects. I always look and I was like, I'll
You're like,
always remember that
There we
summer.
go. That's great. See, that's a great way to remember it.
There
There
you
you go. Same nail polish
Nail
on every.
polish.
Yep. Where do you want to like let everyone know any other projects you got going on before we leave?
So Pretty Little Liars, Casey Undercover. Definitely go watch Mono on Netflix. You will not regret it.
Yes.
And then Before You Say I Do will be coming out shortly on Pixel.
That's amazing.
And just keep in touch.
That's right.
Keep in touch.
What was the last film you said that's going to be on
Before
Pixel?
You Say I Do.
Before You Say I Do. Okay, cool. And do you have like a pretty big role on that?
Yeah,
That's
I got to play
exciting.
one of the love interests. It's kind of one of those where there's multiple storylines, and
That's
so
cool.
like our little storyline.
That's awesome. Well, maybe we can have you back for that one. That would
Yay,
be so
sounds
much fun.
good.
Yes. So where can we find you on social media?
So on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat at Kara Royster.
All right. And you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. Thank you for joining us. And Kara, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, so much fun.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only, and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.